So these webinars are structured to engage with other people, parents and grandparents, and anyone that really comes into contact with children that would like to assist in helping them in their mental and emotional health and in learning skills around mindfulness. So different types of mindfulness techniques, strategies, exercises, and even conversations that they can have with children. And that's what this webinar is all about. So there's one other thing I want to touch on before we close this up, and that is just different views on not only practicing these mindfulness techniques and strategies and games with kids, but to hold space to have really meaningful conversations around all of these exercises. So I think it's really great that we introduce our children to these exercises and to these different types of techniques through the form of games and songs and breathing exercises. But I think it's also very important that parents on a consistent basis have conversations with their children as to why these are so important, these songs and these games, and what these games and exercises can do for them, so that to slowly help the kids connect the dots between this particular song and, oh my goodness, I can't keep focused, that person's talking to me, that person's talking to me, this person's talking to me, this person's talking to me, blah, blah, blah. And in that moment going, you know what, I know a song that can help me focus in on the moment. Or I know this exercise that can focus in on this moment because of the conversation that their parent had with them, explaining the importance of these exercises. And the reason why I say that is because a lot of times I do a lot of repetition with my children in certain mindfulness exercises, and the question does come up, well, why do we have to do this? And I think it's really important to, one, answer the question with a sincere, honest answer, not just because I said so, but giving valid reasons as to why this is going to be important for the child. Like, how is it really going to benefit the child, you know? And also just having those conversations on a regular basis, so that just like the practice of the actual exercise, the repetition of why will help connect those crucial moments when you're not there to remind them to do the exercise, that it will just automatically come into their mind because they can hear your explanation of what to do with this exercise, and now they're in that moment. You're not there, but they know when to use it. Does that make sense?
Makes a lot of sense. And it is just that I noticed through the decades, it's still not quite right the way people approach children. When I was a child, it was way not good. It was like kids should be seen and not heard. In other words, we had no value whatsoever. We had nothing to contribute as to any kind of thoughts to the family. We were just there to shut up and learn and don't ask questions. And that's not right. And then I saw a decade of the parents giving the kids too much rein, where the poor kids are going, how the hell should I know? I'm just a kid, you know? So I think what we should start doing is talking to children as just small little adults. Mm-hmm. But we should be mindful of the idea of realizing that You can't talk to a 3-year-old the same way you can talk to a 12-year-old, to the same way you can talk to a 19-year-old. But you should still be able to explain things and talk to them and give them reason and value to why we're teaching them to do a certain thing, and why it's pertinent to them. What is it for them? Because that's human nature. Like, I really don't care about you, but what is it for me? What purpose, what possible purpose could this be for me? So it is very important just to explain to children as best as you can. And I know it's very difficult when you're talking to a young one, a very young one, because lots of times I'm trying to explain something and it's like squirrel.
Yeah.
Did anything go in? You know?
A lot of times, I think a lot of times the younger they are, it's more just the seeds, right? You're planting those seeds, and as they get older and the more seeds you're planting, the other ones are starting to grow and take root, and the understanding and the awareness comes. And as they grow, because the earlier you do it, the better. Kids are like, they learn so much faster and they absorb so much more than us adults do. So
yes,
it's very important that at a very young age, you do make these explanations. And as they get older, they will start to connect the dots.
Yeah, and it is important to start them very young, because the younger they are, the younger they are, the more apt they are to accept this as a good habit, and they will keep as a norm, and it will keep them as a habit. And yeah, although it's more difficult to explain it to them, but that's okay, you know, like just explain to them whatever they can grasp, as long as they do it. And then as they get older, you can explain a little bit more in depth and what the reasoning behind it is. But I believe that to help children be more mindful is just as important as physical taking care of themselves.
Yeah, I agree.
If not more, actually.
Absolutely. I absolutely agree, because our physical body is something that is tangible, something that they can physically, tangibly touch, where their emotions and their mental health is something that isn't tangible and takes more time and more consistent efforts to help bring awareness and understanding to. So it should be addressed way before the physical, and in conjunction or in conjunction with the physical health.